Welcome to the broadcast, brothers. We're talking about jerseys today. What's up, Braddahs? How you doing?
Going good. It's December. How's your
It
Thanksgiving?
was good. A lot of eating, a lot of drinking. I had a bunch of family in town for a wedding, and it was 4 nights of exactly what you can imagine.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know with you, man. There's a lot I can imagine. So,
It's a lot of
um,
eating, a lot of drinking, and a lot of laughing,
yeah, okay.
and a handful of late
Well,
nights.
well, I got to see you on Sunday for a little
Hmm.
friendsgiving at Castaways Canoe Club. So that was nice to
Yeah,
see you then. And there's a lot of that as well. So
yeah. As a matter of fact, I am hooking up a trailer tomorrow morning at 5:30, and I'm heading to Oceanside to ERC to pick up the new Malama tomorrow.
let's talk about that real
Okay.
quick. So we were kind of touching on a slightly new design to the or a feature, right? Like a design feature to the Malama.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
Feel free to elaborate on that.
so we're gonna have the first double hull Malama that's gonna be functional and working in the world.
That is really
Yeah.
exciting. So just to give our audience a visual. So I know you said double haul, but this llama at Castaways Canoe Club,
Yeah, this will be
and
our third Malama, and
right,
this one will have the capabilities of being used as a double hull with another Malama that we have on the beach.
you could also even go Dragon Boat style, like the Draco, and you're on the
Just
right
two
side, or what?
llamas. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Could,
Okay.
could.
Yeah.
I don't know how
So
that. I don't know what that would look like, but it might work.
So did so Will also have to design a set of Yakos specifically for the double?
Yeah, those are being specially made, and they should be back on Monday. So I'm not going to have it for this weekend, but I will have it early in the week. He's got to come up to the beach. He's got to do the final pin drilling and get the canoe set up, and so he does his final measuring once he has all the equipment, and then he'll be ready to go. So not this weekend, but the following weekend we'll be able to take it out as a double hole. But yeah, hopefully the weather holds up, and it's been a beautiful December so far. So I mean, we'll be paddling this weekend as we always do on Sundays, but won't be using that double hole this weekend, not yet.
Do you think will you create the Moana parade platform in the middle of the two Yakos? Maybe like a net or something like that. We can throw our kids on it.
You know
What
what?
do we
You know
think?
what, Brad? No, I'm not doing that.
No.
No, 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 no,
Yeah.
no. We
Complicated.
Well, people always they're like, oh, Brad, you can put the cooler out there, or you can do this and that, whatever else. And now there's plenty of room in the canoe for the cooler, so we're good.
Okay.
Don't need to worry about that.
Well, I'm excited for you. I'm excited to see and paddle the double haul. You're pretty special in Will's world because I want to say this is probably Will's first yellow painted canoe. From what I hear, that guy doesn't like yellow paint.
Nah, nah.
But
He says it's too heavy,
yeah,
but when the canoe weighs 130 pounds, an extra pound doesn't really matter. Not to us,
yeah.
at least.
No, this is exciting. I can't,
Yeah, yeah. So I'm
man,
gonna go
that's
pick it
awesome.
up tomorrow. I need to get it out of his way. Tomorrow's Becky Stewart, which I know we're transitioning into. So
Yeah. Speaking
he's
of
gonna be doing
Oceanside,
some work early. Yeah,
yep. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Man, there's gonna be. I know Becky Stewart is super early on the winter racing series, but just based on what we saw at the last that new race in Dana, from the likes of Steve Sinkus, kind of jumping on, going toe to toe with Danny. I
yeah,
think in knowing those guys, I occasionally get on the water with them, but not as much as I'd like. But those guys are moving right now,
yeah.
and I think they're really turning on the rest of the paddling field as well. So yeah, hopefully these guys don't peak too early, right? Hopefully they're not peaking in February, but yeah, I think I'm really looking forward to seeing the result of that Becky Stewart race tomorrow. We're gonna have Sinkus is good. He's fired up. Matt Kainoni, that guy's fired up too.
He's gonna race
Will.
tomorrow.
Oh yeah, he's watch out for that guy this year. He's been putting in some time. So
Hmm.
uh, you know Will is always going to be Will. Judd is always going to be Judd. You got Birdiac. Just a lot of studs. Just a lot of speed on the water.
Yeah.
Looks like Danny's going to be sporting his new 404. It looks like the yellow is his new racer. Maybe I don't know, but
I
that's
seen a couple pictures of the new colors, and I love them. I think they're great. Super simple, super straightforward. I like that a lot.
yeah, yeah. Seeing like a bright red canoe like that is like kind of different.
Yeah. Well, being visible in the water is not a bad thing, brother.
Yeah, yeah, and speaking of visibility, us paddlers, we like to be visible with our jerseys, and our guest that we're bringing on. He kind how do I say this? He made bright jerseys look cool. He brought the cool factor back to neon orange and neon green and all these bright colors. Hopefully,
Well,
we're go ahead.
he definitely reclaimed it from the surf ski guys for sure. So that's good.
Yeah, he took it next level, right? Like
Yeah, yeah. He turned the dial 100%.
he turned the dial, and he's making these people be comfortable in their own skin. I hope we're doing this with this introduction, with a bright jersey, but yeah, we're really stoked to bring him on. Let's bring on Frank from Margen, aka Marine Generation.
Yo, hey guys,
Hey,
how you
Frank.
doing?
Thank you for joining us,
Finally,
man. Yeah, I know, man. I've
yeah,
been waiting a long time for this.
I know. Stoked to be here. Thanks a lot, guys, for bringing me on.
To start this just real fast, the other last week or whatever else, there was those crazy
Mm.
fires in those buildings
Oh
there in
man,
Hong
yeah,
Kong, and we were,
yeah.
Joe and I were thinking about you. I was like, man, I hope he's not wrapped up in this stuff. But I'm glad you're
Mm.
good. I'm glad your family's safe.
Yeah, no, we're good. That was really terrible. Very bad. But yeah, I guess a lot is gonna be learned from this. In the way constructions and stuff are done in Hong Kong. Yeah, it was a big news here. Mm,
Frank,
yeah.
I know Hong Kong's a really big city, but how far
Mm.
away was that incident from you?
It was pretty far. It was in Taipo, and I'm around Central. So I mean, pretty far away. So we couldn't see anything, and everyone just wanted to stay away from it, and keep everyone doing their job. Trying to stop the fires and stuff. But it just propagated so fast, and it just went from tower to tower, and yeah, it's very bad. It's like probably I think the worst fire that Hong Kong has seen in a very long time. Um,
Mhm.
yeah, it was all over the news. Yeah, you guys heard about it. That's quite. Yeah,
Oh, it was on the news quite a bit. I was
yeah,
watching quite a bit of it, and
yeah,
but yeah. Anyways, didn't mean to start out the
yeah.
interview with that on like a somber note, but
No, no, worries.
I'm glad you and your family are safe,
We're
and
good. We're good. Thank you.
yeah,
Appreciate it.
good,
We're
good,
good.
good.
Cool.
Frank, where are you originally from?
Oh wow! So I actually I was born in Maryland. So you
Okay.
probably won't believe that, but I was born in Maryland, and I have French parents. So I have also a French citizenship, so U.S. and French. And when I was 5 years old, eventually we my parents moved back to France, and that's where I basically grew up and went to school. And yeah, right after my college, I was like, oh, I want to go back to the U.S. So I first job was in New York City, so I moved back on my own. And yeah, I started basically IT jobs. So I've always been a software engineer, so programmer. And I started to work into like yeah, some software companies, into like insurance, and eventually jump into finance. And yeah, after that, moved to Hong Kong, and I've been here for 15 years now. So yeah, I'm from France, and I do like France and US basically. Yeah. Have you guys been to Hong Kong?
No, not yet.
No, you gotta make it.
Actually,
It's a cool
that's not
place.
true.
Yeah.
I've flown through there. I've gotten off an airplane. I had a layover there for half a day, and then I was flying through
Okay.
Bangkok on my way to Bangkok.
Oh, nice,
But I've
nice.
never really been to Hong Kong. I've stepped foot on the land. That's it.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
even
to
know if
be
that
honest,
counts.
is yeah, you've got to come here. So when I moved here 15 years ago, I basically got a job through like interviews over phone and stuff, and I actually was not expecting what I saw when I arrived. I was just expecting a big city and just buildings and all of that, but all around is just beautiful. You have mountains and beaches and islands and just nature, right? A lot of treks you can do and a lot of things. So it's a beautiful, beautiful place. And of course, you probably heard some of the races that we run here, right? Like the Dragon Run and the ATIR. So it's the perfect location for paddling as well. So yeah, I got hooked by all of this, and yeah, still here now. Yeah,
How was the I know you have friends and peers that have done the Dragon Run this year. We talked about it
yeah.
briefly a few weeks ago, but feel free
Mm,
to give your I guess your recap on it. How exciting it was.
yeah.
Sounds like we had some traveling paddlers coming.
Yeah, I mean the Dragon Run is, I mean, is an iconic race. It's a beautiful race. There is all type of conditions. So it starts with like a massive upwind, which is a pretty long one, and eventually you turn around 9 pins, which is a set of small islands, and then you are on a big downwind basically. So it comes from the side, but it's a very technical race, and it's great. So you always have like international paddlers and some very well talented surf ski paddlers. Right, so Corey Hill was here this year again. Right, he won again, and yeah, it brings a lot of people. And on the OC World, we this year. There were also quite a lot of good paddlers. So we brought Kikua Cow. We helped him to come and race. And Kainalu Balonga was here as well, right? And you had this, you heard about Kaise, right, from Japan, this 15-year-old kid who was there and totally like, did amazingly well. And yeah, then you have Kevin CJ who came as well. So he won the race last year, so he was back, right? Keep his crown. And yeah, then it's all our local paddlers, right? So Hunter and everyone else. Great race. So very encouraging everyone to come and try it out. It's organized by Claudia and Braddahs, and they put all their hearts in organizing this race. Very fantastic race. Joe, you got to make it. We
Is
got a
that
boat for you.
I know that. Oh, thank you. The conditions for that race, is it pretty
Yeah.
for that course?
So
Is it consistent all year round? Like
to be honest, to be honest, I don't want to jinx it for next year, but they've been very lucky every year. So it's a good time of the year for big wins, right? But the last 3 years, like that one weekend has always been massive.
That's
So
awesome.
but yeah, it's a good time of the year for this. So that's the time where you might be following Hunter, right? Our local hero here. It's like that's the time of the year where if you want to find Hunter, is on the downwind out there, right? Because it's always big. Right? So yeah, that's good one.
And so your canoe club is Hong Kong. Was it Hong Kong VRC?
So it's a VRC, so Victoria Recreation Club. So this club
Okay.
is the oldest recreation club in Hong Kong. So it's very old, and we have a paddle section, which is split between outrigger and dragon boats. And yeah, so that's where I paddle. That's actually the club where Jack Seymour started.
Okay.
So you know Jack very well, right? And
Yeah.
yeah, it's Jack Seymour and some other paddlers who actually are in Hawaii now started the VRC. The scene in Hong Kong is not massive. So you have probably what 5 to 6 clubs, but two are pretty big one. I mean, like over 100 paddlers.
Mm.
And so yeah, VRC is my club. We try to race internationally as well every year. So this year we've been to Molokai again. So that was my third one, and that was the second one in a row for the VRC since it restarted. And the boys went to Tahiti as well and did the Hawaii for the first time, the first Hong Kong club that actually did the Hawaii.
Amazing to be able to do
Yeah,
Molokai and Hawaii. So a lot of them did
yeah,
Molokai and Hawaii in the same
yeah,
year.
both,
Wow.
both. And as soon as they came back, jumped straight in the ATIR and the Dragon Run.
Yeah.
Have you heard about the ATIR?
You explained it to us last
Yeah,
time we
yeah.
talked. I had never heard of it until then, and
Yeah,
it sounds amazing.
yeah. ATR is a great race. So it's ATR stands for around the island race. So basically, imagine Hong Kong. It's one big island. So the race is just going all around. So you're basically getting every conditions. So you're paddling through the Hong Kong harbor where you get like all the ferries and like massive wakes and stuff. Beautiful, view of the skyline, and then you go around, and then you get big water on one side, then you get another big downwind, and so it's a beautiful race, about 52 kilometer. It's a change race, so you're basically 9 guys, and yeah. So this year, and actually every year, there's a team from Hawaii that comes. So Tristan and Kikoa were here this year with other boys, and yeah, they did very well. This year was a bit special. They actually had to change the course because there was another event happening, and it was tricky for them to get the proper approvals to go through the arbor. So they had to change it. But yeah, it's a great race. Yeah.
How many people participate in that race?
Well, that's a good question, but I don't know how many clubs there were this year, but quite a lot. We had people from Australia, from Singapore. These guys obviously from Hawaii, and there was a team from Vancouver as well. And then you get all the Hong Kong clubs, right? This is basically the race to like finish your year before it starts again in January. Yeah. We're trying to get some crews from Tahiti to come. So hopefully next year we can make it happen. Trying to convince the Air Tahiti boys to come. And why not Lanakila, right? So
or you know what, Frank? Maybe we need some maybe we need more eyes on this race. Maybe the broadcast would be a
yeah,
broadcast brought us opportunity.
yeah. I mean, yeah, it would be amazing to have you guys here, right? There's 3 races you could potentially broadcast. It's the ATIR, the Dragon Run, and also we have this VRC race series. So it's one man race series that similar to yours, but I think yours is about 4 or 5 races.
Oh, now it seems like it's like closer to 8 races, especially
when
really?
Okay.
For the Iron season.
Wild Buffalo.
Oh, you mean for the one-man season? Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of
yeah.
And then now we have.
So we run ours as well, but it's one race every month basically. So it's quite heavy on the schedule. But the season finale, they're starting to link it with the Dragon Run being the last race as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, you guys are welcome here. It'll be amazing.
Yeah, we appreciate that. Whoever is, I really admire the storytelling behind your guys's one-man series, because you guys have you guys do like a point system, right? And so you guys kind of highlight the local paddlers, like so and so has X amount of points, and there's still 2 races left, and maybe other so and so can catch that person, kind of thing. Whoever created that structure is I like the story behind it, and even the social media is really cool.
Yeah, no, I agree. This is very well done. So the guy who ran this race, his name is Vinny, and he basically put all his heart into this. And Hunter has been helping him as well, and we've been involved. But we started basically this, as you mentioned, this leaderboard. So you can, at the end of every race, right, you can see like who stands where, based on their points and stuff. And yeah, since we started this, like people are like, oh, next race I got to be there. I got to make the board, and so yeah, that's pretty cool actually. Yeah, it's a good race. Joe, you gotta come. I want to see you in Hong Kong, Joe.
Count me in. I went to Japan a couple years ago. That was good fun. And
yeah,
I mean, I love Asia. There's places. Yeah. I love big cities too. So yeah, count me in.
Yeah, good.
So talking about putting your heart into things, you've made that statement a couple times. Let's talk about Margen a little bit, Frank. How did that start? I know that you put a lot of your free time and extra time into this, and it's a really, really amazing brand. It's one of the first ones I remember seeing out there that was separate from the giant, like the Patagonia, huge brands. That was very specific to paddling. And how did it all come about?
Yeah. Well, Margen started like probably 4 or 5 years ago. I think 5 years. So yeah, like we were all like full on, pandemic and stuff. And eventually, like this time, like everybody was working from home, and like rethinking their lives and stuff, right? And yeah, it started. But the idea behind is so I've been paddling for 12 years at the VRC, and I've always been involved uh, in the back of it. So back then I was a volunteer. We run this with an EC. Every year we elect new people to run the club, and I was involved in the sponsorship and marketing, and that 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 role you get to find the sponsors, that you put on the jerseys and stuff, but you also get to do the team kit for the club, right? And that's where basically I started to figure out that it's very difficult. There is a lot of options, but it's very difficult to find consistency and pricing and quality and everything that matches your expectation, and also a simple process, for ordering that is, not a headache. It was really difficult. So eventually, yeah, I decided to start my own. I started first with a business partner. So I think Joe, Nick Nelson, right? That's how we
Yeah,
connected, right?
yeah. That's
So
exactly
yeah,
how we
Nick.
got through the pandemic.
That,
Yeah.
yeah. So Nick is amazing, very talented, right? So he was our creative director, and he was in Australia while I was in Hong Kong, and eventually life made that. He got into a new job and stuff, and it was very difficult for him to continue. So I continued Margen on my own, right? And yeah, it's been 5 years now. It's been very busy, in a good way. Very 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 stressful too, because things make that. Well, I'm a dad as well. I have two kids. I think you guys know this very well, right? My kids are like 2 and 5, 2 and 6. Sorry, I hope my wife didn't hear that. 2 and 6, and yeah, it's just a very busy life, in Hong Kong, like school and homework and stuff. And actually, Margin was not my first gig, right? So I actually have a full time job in finance, basically in IT and finance. So this was always meant to be a side gig, but eventually it got bigger and bigger, and I still have my main job, and I have Margin running as well. So now it's basically not a lot of sleep. It's a lot of
Yeah.
work. Wake up very early, check emails, and do a lot of work before going to to my work. And yeah, trying to do both, keep track, and back at night, back onto Margin, until very late. So my wife is now involved in Margin. So I say she's becoming the face of Margin. So she's the one sending all of the emails to our clients, and invoicing and taking care of the accounting and all the administration, like trademarks and stuff. Like, so she's very involved. She's doing an amazing job, and it basically allows me to yes, stay alive, maintaining two jobs. Eventually, in the longer run, not quite yet, but in the longer run, hopefully, Margin becomes my full time gig, basically, right? So yeah, that's how it started. That's how we met, Joe, right? Through our mutual connections.
Yeah, Joe, will you share a little bit of the history and how you guys met? Because I mean, you brought Margin to the table for us, and I'd be really curious to know how that all kind of connected.
Yeah. You know, speaking of the pandemic, this was probably like late 2020, and
Mm,
our old friend Nick Nelson, who I used to paddle with when I lived in San Francisco. And Nick has a graphics background, and he was working with Frank. And I just remember him posting something, and it really, and this was before it was called Margin. It said something like "for the Marine generation," and I was
mm,
very by that. I was like, whoa. And
mm,
like just his graphic work, it was just like it must have just been an image of something, but I was very intrigued. So I reached out to, hey, what do you got going on, man? This is really interesting. And he was like, hey,
mm,
me and a company. Really now? I was like, I thought that was, and he spoke about how they're using recycled materials, and we're gonna change we're gonna change the game, man. Like he's like, and he invited me to jump on a call with Frank once. And Frank, I remember your presentation was spectacular back then, and I just remember So looking at your hoodie, right? You know, the E of the margin, your
Mm.
the logo, the icon of your logo. Can you break because you broke this down for me 5 years ago. Can you break down the three elements of the that makes the E in margin?
Yeah, basically is wind, waves, and current. So
I
yeah,
had
it's
no idea
that's
until right now. That's super, super cool. I had no idea.
yeah, that's the idea behind it. So that's the three elements that basically any watermen are gonna be, looking for and try to master, right? So yeah, that's how it started. So at the beginning, with Nick, Nick is yeah, he's a creative director, right? And we connected, or he connected us with Kyle Tillman in Australia, who's an illustrator, and that we basically worked together, the three of us, and there's this guy called Rishi as well, who was more of a copywriter, and we started from scratch. Like Margin did not have a name when we all got in our first calls. They're like no name, nothing. We just had a concept. We had ideas. We knew where we wanted to go and where we did not want to go, and basically, these guys helped us out from A to Z, and we together as a team we came up with the name. So there was actually a lot of other options on the table with like meanings on every of them, and ideas and how it could shape the brand. But yeah, we basically went for Margin, which stands for Marine Generation. And Kyle and Nick were very involved in the branding process, and I also had strong opinions. And if you see the logo, that's the first logos were completely different than how it turned out. And yeah, that was a very interesting process because, as I said, my background is not this at all. My background is basically IT and computer science. So going through this whole branding process was the most interesting thing that I've ever been involved with. It was so cool, and yeah, it turned out very well. So yeah, that's how these three waves actually came out.
Well, we've seen now your product all over the world internationally. We see it in Tahiti a lot. We see it in Brazil. We see it all over the United States. What is the future for Margin? I know that I saw Danny had just released a small line with you guys, right?
Hmm.
And let's talk about what you got coming in the future here.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, no big plans. We just keep going, right? But for me, the goal is to have a full collection, good products, cool products, technical products, but also things that you can wear, off the water. So comfortable gear that you want to jump in, after your shower, after your race, right, and to go home. So it's not just on the water products, but yeah, it's also technical wear, right? Like jackets, for example, something we've been working on for a very long time. The main difficulty for a small business like us is that you have to start with small quantities, right? So you cannot go and like any factory will start be like, oh, you need to order like 3,000 pieces to get
Right.
started, right? But when you want to make a jacket, and when you are nobody, right? Nobody knows about you. You can't go and order 3,000 jackets, right? Because you basically gonna end up like dying with them, right? So we needed to find like partners that first believe in us, but also that can cater for these smaller quantities. And jackets, for example, if we take one product specifically, is very difficult because there's no like production house who will want to print like 10 jackets for you to get started, right? So it's like in a long time, but finally we found a really solid one, and these guys are understanding our requirements, about waterproofing and breathability and customization. So yeah, we just keep working. So hopefully this is gonna bring us with a really cool line of jackets. So we always get our clients to be like, oh, what do you have? Like, what about your jackets? And I'm like, you gotta wait a bit longer. We're working.
Mhm.
So yeah, so the future for us is keep improving our range, right, and keep going for solid collaborations. So you could see probably right through our Instagram, and we value our collaborations with good groups, good people, good clubs. right? And we want to keep pushing for this. And you also see like we value putting good content out there, which is not necessarily about margin, right? So what we put out there is telling stories, and indirectly people are wearing our clothes, right? But we're not pushing that necessarily at first. So you could see some cool videos, for example, like Kevin Jerusalemi, right? And telling us his story, which no one, really know and are interested in, right? So collaborations are also with creators that help us to put this content in place, right? So I talked about Hunter. Hayden Rambler is another one, right? We've done a lot of work with him, and he's always there supporting and helping us as well. So yeah, we're gonna keep pushing these collabs, and after just improve our processes, right? So we figured there's a lot of challenges. So you mentioned our jerseys are everywhere in the world, so it's not everywhere in the world, but we were able to reach quite some good locations with our customs. Customs is very easy to ship because you basically get like a big number of products and you ship in a big box, so you go through DHL and it's very easy. But when you go through your websites and you're shipping one jersey at a time,
It's
and
hard.
you're trying to reach all these locations that you mentioned across the world, it's very difficult, right? So fulfillment is very challenging. So these are things that we need to improve, and we really need to fix it also. Our website, if you look at our website, we've been neglecting it because we've been very busy with the customs. So we got to get back to that. So that's a big goal for us in 2026. We got to fix that. And yeah, I mean, a lot of things, but good things, interesting stuff. We like to do this. This is what we like doing, right? So we do it with fun and passion.
Yeah, it sounds like, and you're a really busy guy, so we really appreciate your time jumping on with us today.
Yeah, of
Speaking of
course.
collaboration, what do we think, guys? Is this a good occasion to share our latest collaboration with Marine Generation or Margin? Frank's been generous enough to set us up with these hats a couple years
I,
back,
iconic hats. Iconic hats.
iconic hats.
Yeah.
And we're definitely looking forward to we're gonna bring these hats back, but we got a little bit more. So Brada, feel free to
Okay.
make the big reveal here of what we got cooking.
Well, you start by introducing the hats first, Joe. Since you did the design with the designers and Frank, I'll let you walk us through it.
So the hat you see on the right, that's our standard hat, that I'm wearing. We made
Iconic,
some
brother.
small
Iconic.
iconic.
There you
Okay.
go. Yeah.
Should we just call it the
The
iconic hat?
iconic hat. Yeah.
But yeah, so we made some small tweaks to it. We eliminated the broadcast Braddahs patch on the back. Kind of just figured, you know what hat you're getting. You already know who the BBs are. So we're simplifying it, but pretty much the same hat, right? Right, Frank. It's pretty much the same design, right?
Yes, yes. It's
And
gonna be
then
the five panel, right? So
yeah,
good for water, good for off the water as well.
just a
Yeah,
great
it's gonna
all
be
around
cool.
hat. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
a staple here, in
yeah.
Southern California, and hopefully soon to be worldwide.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
and then the hat you see on the left, the white one, we are gonna go a trucker hat. Hopefully that's still available, Frank. But yeah, so we're going with a white trucker hat with a black bill, and then possibly what do we think, a stitching patch on the front, Frank?
Yeah, I think we might go for embroidery. It's gonna be a good one. Don't worry, we're working on it.
Very cool. That's
Yeah,
gonna be the everyday wear outside the canoe.
yeah, we got
It's
options.
nice.
Yeah, my,
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
wife will probably like that. I feel like a lot of wahine out there might like the white hat.
Hmm.
And then now we're shifting over to some off the water wear. On the top of the screen there, you see our t-shirt. This one's we're keeping it simple, right? It's got a simple logo on the front with it looks like a pocket tee, but it's actually just a design around.
Mm.
It's an outline of a pocket.
I actually
And then
forgot to load that picture. Sorry about that. But yeah.
oh, it's okay. And then on the back is just
So
standard
this one,
product.
yeah. This one was quite an interesting design session that we had. Because Joe is like, oh, I want a pocket, but it's not a real pocket.
Yeah.
It's a print, but it looks really cool. I love how we put the broadcast Braddahs like around the contour of the pocket
Yeah.
itself.
Yeah, it's
So this is gonna be a cool T-shirt. It's gonna be a cotton one, and we're gonna use like screen prints. It's gonna be solid. So the Braddahs in the back is like same as what we did for the racer hoodie, right?
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then what you see on the bottom, the hoodie, that's just gonna be just a standard cotton hoodie with the bomber vibe, bomber jacket vibe. So
Mm.
I think that's our look moving forward. We kind of like the bomber
simple.
style,
Yeah. Yep.
right? Yeah. So those are the two. We got a cotton t-shirt, cotton hoodie, and then do we got one more slide, or is that it?
No, that's all
The
I had.
racer
That's all
top,
you
right?
sent me. No, that's all you get. That's all you sent me, Joe. That was it.
Oh, okay. Well, we also have the hooded rash guard too. That's pretty much the same concept as
Mm.
that hoodie
Right.
that you're seeing.
Yeah.
Frank,
Which is really
what
awesome.
is the
Mm.
the proper name of the hooded rash guard? What are you calling it again?
These are our racer collections. So it's
Race.
yeah, we call them racer. So they're like super lights. The purpose of these tops is basically that's the top you're gonna go to race day with, right? Training as well, but it's the top that you put on and you just don't feel it. You focus on your race, right? That was the idea behind the fabric that we use. What we're doing now, however, we're introducing like a thicker fabric, which is also made from recycled plastic bottles, but is heavier, so it's better for colder weather. So you'll see this one on the water soon in California. So Danny is putting an order of those like ugly Christmas sweater type, you know. But we're turning this into
Yeah.
a water racer top. It's pretty cool actually. So it's gonna be branded 404 and Hippo Stick
Cool.
with like Santas and like like Christmas trees and stuff. It's really cool. So it's gonna be using this thicker fabric. So Danny is gonna be testing it for us. Yeah.
Very cool.
But yeah, no, this is good, guys. We're super excited to work with you guys and collab with you guys. I mean, this first collab we did together on the hat. I mean, personally, for us, it had a lot of meaning behind it because, well, when we did this, when was it? Like 2 years ago or 1 year ago? 2 years ago, right?
2 years ago.
So it was, yeah. So it was kind of at your beginnings as well, right?
Mhm.
So for us, it had a lot of meaning that well, you are starting business as well, and you are going through your own challenges, right? I mean, we all have our own challenges. Yours is probably like get signal during Catalina crossing, right in the middle, right? So
All of
these hats,
that.
yeah, I know, right? You have your own set of issues, right? So through these hats, I think for us the idea is that you're gonna be selling them, you're gonna be raising funds, and you're gonna be using that money to improve, your stuff on your side, right?
Well,
And yeah, it
it
just
bought
worked.
us a Starlink. You got it. You got us a
There you
signal
go.
across the channel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there you go. So yeah, no, that was amazing, and we just love your brand, like your branding and everything. I think everything's on point, and what you do as well, right? I mean, this sport will not be known if you're not seeing it online on TVs, on YouTube or whatever, right? So we need people like you guys to do the work, broadcasting and streaming. So yeah, we appreciate all you guys do. So hopefully with this new collection, we can get you guys out there as well, and yeah, it'll be cool. They'll be simple, like straight to the point, your brand on it. And yeah, let's do it. So early next year, this should be available, right? And cool.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Frank. That yeah, I snuck a couple peeks from some of the guys on the beach at my club. There's only like
Yeah,
26 of us, and they're already want orders on everything that's going to be made.
nice.
So yeah,
That's cool.
we're good about supporting each other, and they're great. They love the Broadcast Brothers. They love Margen,
Mm,
and yeah. So I'm really looking forward to being able to send it out there to the world and be able to wear it
yeah.
out there in the world. And yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, and you touched on it earlier about what you about at Margin with
Mm,
sharing story content out there, and there's a lot of parallels to what all of us are doing here, and that's why I've always appreciated our collaboration that we've had with you, and personally what I've had with you for years too.
mm,
And so yeah, 2026 is there's a lot of things to be excited about, and
yeah.
but yeah, we can't thank you enough to for setting up this collaboration with us. We're stoked to get it out there, and
Mm,
Well,
hopefully,
2020,
yeah, Hong Kong. That'd be awesome to get to Hong Kong too.
yeah, in 2026 for the broadcast Braddahs is going to be a lot more content. We're going to be doing a lot more sit downs and talking. We're going to try and do as much live feeds as we can. And Joe's got some, which Frank is dealing with Joe as long as you have been. Joe's got some crazy off the top ideas that are super fun, and really looking forward to putting those in play this year around some of the race venues and some of the other things we have on our agenda. So it's going to be a bigger year for us as a broadcast Braddahs to be able to go out and do. Oh, there goes Joe. But go out and do what you were talking about doing, which is kind of telling the story, going around and visiting people and telling their story, and promoting the sport, and the sport that Joe and I love equally. And so it's a pleasure to do it with him, and really stoked that we get to do it with you and Margin. And so thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you so much, Frank.
yeah, of course, of course. We'll keep
Like I
doing
said
that
earlier, I know
too.
you're a
Like,
busy
yeah. Say it again.
guy.
Yeah. Oh, are you going to be out on the West Coast at all anytime soon, or this year, next year?
So every year we have our yearly stop at the gorge. So that's as far as we will be going this year again. In terms of coming to the US, so we'll be there. Yeah, the gorge it's a great event for us. I mean, we just love being there. I mean, the vibe and the people, and you connect with so many, yeah, just characters and individuals, and like, so we love coming. So we'll be back, right? So we're already in touch, with Chris and Carter, and trying to set things up. But yeah, will you guys be making it, or?
I want to make a big push.
Yeah.
Mm,
Mallory, my wife, has been kind of talking about like, hey, like, how come we never like talked about going as a family? I mean, especially now that we have a little
yeah,
family. So
yeah. I mean,
Yep.
it's great for that, right?
Mhm.
I mean, the race is amazing, but all that comes around it is like, my wife Candace is the one asking me about the gorge before I even think about it, because she just loves going there. And yeah, even for kids, right? Like, bring your kids there. I mean, it's a bit harder when you run business as well, because for us, when we come, is we usually set a tent, right? We have a booth and we try to connect and sell our stuff. So we brought our daughter one year, and luckily Danny was there with his kids, so that we could connect them, right? So they kept each other's busy. But yeah, it's a great place. I mean, we love it. So we'll be there. We'll be there again. But California,
I'm gonna go
like,
on record right now, and I'm committing, Joe. We're going to the gorge. We're doing it.
Oh, right. Maybe we'll bring a booth too, huh?
Yeah.
That'd be kind of fun.
Yeah.
just
We'll figure out
right
how
next
to
Bring
to
do
us.
that. Yeah.
Yeah,
electronics, yeah. Bring the
Yep.
setup.
And just
yeah,
do live
and
interviews on the spot and walk around and talk to people and do some
mm,
downwinders and have some fun and do all that.
yeah.
Maybe get a boat
It
and
would
cover the race. I don't know.
it would be great for you guys to be there, right? Because I mean, it's just like people from all over the world who are there, and there's so many like cool stories just talking with anyone, and it would be amazing if you guys come, running interviews, and that would be amazing. Yeah,
Not that that race needs any more hype than it already has, because it gets a lot, but I think showing a very on the ground vibe kind of, viewpoint would do a lot for that race too, I think.
yeah,
'Cause from what I hear, it's a pretty amazing event the whole week.
yeah. Otherwise, like, other than the gorge, we're still thinking where we're gonna go this next year, but we're thinking to maybe go to the States, or in Hawaii, or maybe the Father's Day Regatta, that the Archive runs. Um, yeah, few options. Can you hear me? Cutting?
Yeah. Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, few options. Race wise, we'll probably do the Molokai Crossing again this year with my club. Right. Tahiti was amazing. For me, I didn't get to race with the boys because it was more of a, I was following Air Tahiti. So as you know, we collaborate with Air Tahiti quite a lot, right? They wear our jerseys and stuff.
Hmm.
So we were invited to follow them. So we were on their the escort boat and stuff, staying with them, and so it was simply amazing. It's just like an amazing time, and we loved it so much. Or at least I did. It was a bit rougher for Candace. The whole Waikiki conditions. Going from island to island was pretty rough. But yeah, it was just amazing. Connect with the boys. Kai, Otu, and Matai, and all the guys who run this is. So yeah, we probably will come back. So yeah, a lot of things to think about. But yeah, for us, going and meeting people is I mean, it's the best thing, right? That's where you get to hear people's problems, with their current gear and stuff. That's where you learn about what you should be doing next, right? And you just connect, right?
Hmm.
And yeah, so yeah, we'll be traveling. We'll be traveling.
Yeah,
Well,
hopefully us too.
I'd really like to see you guys get a shot at doing the Hawaii Nui jerseys for 26. That would be pretty cool.
Yes, we would love that. We would love that,
Yeah.
and we're trying.
Yep.
Let's put it this way. Tahiti works differently.
Oh
So we're learning our ways, right? And with Margin is, I mean, yes, you see us around, but you'll see that we never push, right? We never. I actually never send an email and be like, oh, do you want to wear our stuff, right? So like word of mouth, and if you do a good job here, people will talk, and eventually they'll reach out.
yeah.
But
Less is more. Less is more sometimes.
yeah, Tahiti works very differently, and we don't want to piss off anyone. Let's put it this way, right?
Hmm.
So, but yeah, it would be amazing. But it's not a must, I mean, they do a good job with all these. I mean, Tahiti. I mean, every race has a jersey. I don't know. These guys drawers must be full of jerseys. They do a good job, but yeah, the quality is a bit different than what we make, right? The target is a bit different. But yeah, we're in discussions with a few events like Seva or maybe Taito, and
Yeah.
yeah. The thing for me is, so I speak French, right? So I can connect with people over there very well, and yeah, so it's very helpful. But we'll see more margin in Tahiti in the very near future. So we're trying to. I didn't mention it when you said what's your big plans, but one thing is to be able to set sales channels, right? So I just realized I cannot do everything on my own, right? So having people that represent your brand in different part of the world is a great thing. But in Tahiti, we're actually setting this up right now. So collaboration with Air Tahiti and Kyle and his wife Air and Iroa, right? You guys know Iroa
Hmm.
through La Brasserie, right?
Hmm.
So we have good friends over there. So setting this up so our stuff can be accessible over there.
Very cool.
Yeah,
This is great. My internet has been pretty spotty, so with the Starlink over here, but so about that. There's times where I had to go in and out.
yeah, no worries.
Yeah,
No
I
worries.
actually think my system will capture your video in HD. So when I upload it, I think we'll get your clear picture. I just think it's a live coming in, but we'll see.
Mm.
Yeah, and there was
Also,
times where
before we drop, guys,
what is that? Was that Frank?
now, I want to say before we drop, there is one point that we did not touch on, and it is basically the environment, right? And I think I have a mission to talk about it. Is so regardless of margin, right? I mean, we make all our products with recycled plastic bottles and stuff like that. But for us, what's very important is education, right? Towards what you can do, for the environment. And we've been collaborating with Sarah, right, from Skora, right, who has done incredible work, right, with all these events and trying to make them single use
We'll
plastic
use plastic.
free, and right, with all the like where you can refill your bottle with like water stations and stuff. all of this is very important, and it's something that we so you can see Margin collaborate with a lot of events, but every time our first question is like, what do you do for the environment as part of your event? And if you do something that is in that direction, then we are like more in favor to partner with you, right? And for example, like this event in Maryland on the Chesapeake Bay, right? Bay Paddle. This year we've been collaborating with them. They've done an incredible work as well. So yeah, I just wanted to touch base because it's hard to not talk about this in this interview, right? But for me, that what's very important is education, right? So Joe, you have a little daughter. For us, as part of our my education with my daughter is we do a lot of reading, about things like this. We have like a lot of books for kids about the environment and how do you preserve beaches and stuff. And it's amazing because when we walk on the street, my daughter will see something on the floor and be like, oh, should we pick it up? Oh, why is that? Why did someone drop this on the floor? And I feel like it all starts with education, right? And that's what Scora, I think, does very well, and that's what we are trying to do as a brand as well. So yeah,
For
important
sure.
point for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great to get out. I remember, I mean, shoot, we touched on when we first met, online 5 years ago, and I remember that was a major component to what you had going on was
Mm,
recycled plastics, and we got a little bit into the education aspect,
yeah.
but it is great to hear that you still carry those, you still carry that in your roots, of what you
Mm.
got on with margins.
Yeah,
So
it's very
recycling,
important for us. Yeah.
I'm still making tweaks to this little garage studio I have going on here, Frank. But Justin knows this, but this is foam up here. This is rubbish basically. So,
We
so
used
I'm
it.
kind of in my car. I got foam. Trying
Yep.
You're cutting a bit. Maybe my
Yeah.
connection. Yeah.
No, it's not
to,
yours, Frank. Yeah.
it's
It's
No,
not. Okay.
Joe's right. Everyone's got to do their part. If everyone does their part, then we wouldn't be in a problem, anyways. But quite
Yeah.
honestly, I agree. It's like every time we're out paddling, we pick up stuff in the bay every time we're out, and
Yeah.
I encourage everyone to do that, and all my
Mm,
guys do it. And you'd be surprised at some of the stuff we get out of the water.
mm,
We get almost a 5 gallon bucket every time we go out in the water that's just floating around in the
mm,
in the back bay and things like that. Just even small trash balls, bottles, cans, they're just out there all over the place. And yeah, it
yeah.
sucks. I remember the old days surfing when I was really young and paddling through cigarette butts everywhere, cigarette butts.
Mm,
And you don't see that anymore because smoking is not a cool thing to do really anymore. But man, there sure is a lot of other things out there that have, kind of taken its place in it. And it's a shame.
yeah. We see it a lot here in Hong Kong, right? Like you will have a beautiful day, and the next day a bad tide coming, like bringing a lot of trash and like,
Hmm.
and it's just a reminder like that you gotta do your part, right? But for us as a I mean, we produce a lot of jerseys now, and I feel like we have a responsibility, right? Because to be honest, like our industry, I mean, it's not a clean industry, right? When you go to factories and you see certain things that you're like, oh, okay, that's not great, right? So you got to do your part where you can. You cannot change everything, right? But do your part where you can. And I think the recycling of plastic bottles for us was very important. And the thing is, when you work with factories, when you start a business, right, the first thing you do is, you go to a factory and you say, oh, I want to make jerseys, right, made from recycled plastics. They'll tell you, yeah, for sure, we have that fabric, we can do it for you, right? But you don't know what's happening behind. You don't know where
Right.
it's coming from because the
Right.
garment factory is just the face, but behind you have a fabric mill, you have a factory that make the yarn to make the fabric, and these are the guys who actually do the work of recycling. So you don't know until you start tracing, and that's what we've done. So we know our jerseys are made from recycled plastic bottles because we've seen it from our own eyes,
Yeah.
and we are in charge of the whole relationship between those three parties. So we use a yarn that is called Cyclone, and it's a factory. It's in China, And what these guys do is unreal. So we actually visited this factory. We've seen the whole process, like how it works, like the from A to Z, basically bottles being like washed and shredded and melted, and how different parts of the bottle, the cap goes into one line for making fishing nets. Like it's pretty unreal, and it actually is not a gimmick. It's actually legit. Um, so we try to do our part, and after it's about how do you package your stuff, right? Like how do you package your jerseys when you ship? There's, I mean, the usage of plastic is massive, right? And then it just goes straight in your trash. So how do you package your stuff to minimize this? And yeah, also what we do is our sales, we give 1% to environmental organizations here in Hong Kong that are much more knowledgeable than us and that have all these amazing programs with schools and stuff. So everything that people buy from us, 1% of the sale, the value, not the profit, but the sale is actually given back to these organizations. This is through a program called 1% for the Planet. You guys probably heard about it. It was started by a founder of Patagonia. It's a great, great program. So yeah, as long as everybody can do their parts, and we try to do our best on our side.
Well,
So yeah,
we're proud to have aligned ourselves with guys like you, and we love supporting even YK Water for that kind of reason too. They're big recycling ocean plastics, and they rebottle, and they remake all their stuff. But
okay.
yeah, so I mean, it's something that's important to all of us, and I'm glad you brought it up. I know that we were very lighthearted on this, but Joel will tell you, when we're on the water, we definitely spend the time and make sure we're taking care of what's around us, no doubt.
Always.
Yep. So, well, Frank, thank you very much. I think it's Saturday morning right now for you.
So right now it's Saturday, 1 p.m. So I'm
1
gonna go
p.m.
for
Okay.
lunch soon.
Okay. Well, we
Yeah.
won't hang you up. I know it's family time. It's weekend, and we appreciate the time you spent with us. And if there's anything we can do for you or Margen, please let us know. And other than that, Joe, you want to wrap them up?
Yeah. Thanks again, Frank. We always appreciate your time. We're looking forward to exciting things in 2026. And to our audience, be on the lookout for our merchandise announcement. Hopefully, coming to you soon. We'll update all of that on our website as well.
Yeah,
And
and support the 404 stuff too, because I saw a couple concepts on that. It looks really nice.
Yeah. There's some pretty cool stuff coming with Danny.
Cool.
Oh yeah, yep, for sure.
Yeah, and 404 Hippo Stick. You'll see it around Christmas
Whether
time.
if you're supporting the broadcast Braddahs or Hippo Stick or 404, you're supporting Frank. So that's
Yep,
all
that's
great
right.
for us. So.
I think what we should do is have a sales contest between the two brands and see who does better. I'll just buy all of the inventory and not say anything like, "Oh, we sold more."
Yeah. But yeah,
Right
I mean, three words come to mind, especially after Frank's last bit there, but is reduce, reuse, recycle.
Yep.
Reduce, reuse, recycle. That's a good one.
Right. So, but yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thanks everybody. Thanks.
All right.
Thank you so much, guys. Appreciate. Thank you so much. And
have a great rest of your weekend, Frank. Thank you very much.
All right, sounds good. All right, take care, guys.
Aloha,
Thank
guys.
you. Bye.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Yes.